Welcome back, friends, to the shop. It is time for a 2020 EDC update. I don't know about you guys, but my EDC has changed significantly. I've got actually multiple levels. I'm going to call it my green, yellow, and red. Today we're going to be talking about the yellow EDC. So my primary EDC, or the green EDC, would be just our normal things, right? Our normal CCW, our pocket knife, maybe an extra magazine, maybe a flashlight. Well, things are changing now. It's really sad to see. First off, there's a lot of people that have misconstrued what I said about my being critical of the police. I'm not critical of the police. I'm critical of warrior cops that abuse people, bullies that go into the force and use the badge to take advantage of people or to fulfill some sort of a childhood sick bully dream. That's what I'm against. I'm not against police. I'll tell you what. I feel bad for a lot of the good officers out there. It's unfair the way that they're being treated. And I'll tell you what, if I was involved in that, I would be seriously thinking about walking away. Oh, you don't like what we do? Okay, let's see how you do it yourself. I mean, I would literally be doing that, and I don't see how there's not going to be more and more folks that are going to be operating like that. And I wouldn't blame them, right? I wouldn't blame them at all. When you, as a police officer, and this extends to us as citizens as well, can defend yourself legally and according to the laws and still be loaded up with a bunch of felonies and a murder charge for doing the right thing, how can you possibly do that? You can't take that risk. I would seriously be, if I was a police officer, again, I would be seriously considering a different vocation at this time. And I know it's something, that sheepdog mentality, I get it. I've always served the best I can, whether that be wildland firefighting or an EMT or the fire department or volunteer firefighting, that sort of thing. You know, I understand it. I get it. But it's the cost of too risk, or the risk is too high, because your priority is not the community. Your priority is your family first. It is obviously, you know, you have to do that. So this kit that I put together is for a situation, if you live in an area where you may be threatened, or the police just all of a sudden in your community say, you know what, we're not going to put up with this anymore, we're all striking. You know, lawlessness could abound, you could find yourself in difficulty, right? So the best advice I could give you is don't interject yourself into those areas. I know the excitement, people like it, and you want to go see what's going on, but that statue or that building that you have no ties to, you know, you gotta make a judgment call. It doesn't do you any good if you go there and try to make a stand and then you end up in jail and now your family is in need, right? So you gotta make those decisions. So this kit that I'm sharing with you today is one to keep in the car. It's an enhanced, severely enhanced kit from our normal EDC, just to give you a few ideas that you could grab and go and still carry it around. So let's put this one off the table and let's get into the yellow bag. First off, don't underestimate the importance of the bag. Now you're gonna come down to probably, you wanna think about maybe two choices, whether it's a regular backpack or if it's more of a sling bag. The sling bag is kind of nice, the messenger style bag, because of the way you can access it on the front. So you can cinch it up and you can carry it tight, and you can be quite active with these. These were designed for bike messengers, right? And bike messengers are pretty active, so you can tighten this up on your back, and it rides very well. You can run, you can climb, you can move. The thing that's really nice about it, where it kind of sets it aside from the backpack, is that you can access it. They're designed to sling, so you can sling it to the front, you can open it up, and you can get access to things. So that's kind of nice. So whatever you decide to go with, whether it be backpack or sling bag, just make sure it's voluminous, right? You want it to be reasonably big, and don't pack it up. You only want to fill it about half full so that you have room to add things. You might want to add a rain jacket. It could be cold, food, who knows what, right? So here's a couple things to consider. Now, most of these bags, all modern bags are going to have a sleeve for laptops, for a 15-inch laptop, right? So the nice thing about that is that's about the same size as a piece of soft body armor. You don't have plate carriers, you don't have body armor, you know, you can get these soft body armor pieces for, you know, around $60 or so. You know, you find them on sale. I've even seen them for 50, right? Get one of these. They slide perfectly inside of these cases in all of your backpacks that you probably already have. And yeah, it's not perfect, but this is going to stop any handgun round up to 44 Magnum, right? So that's a good thing to have. And, you know, another thing for the backpack, you know, the same thing here is I've got here on the front pocket, it's a perfect place to put in a piece of soft body armor, right? It doesn't really take up much weight, space, it's very light. And right here, if you needed it, you could put this on. Poor microphone here. You get the idea. Carry it in the front. Is that not something that would actually work or keep you safe? If you've got it on your back, right? We've got the same thing, basically. You've got your back area covered with a piece of body armor. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? If things were going bad and some crazy person was running around, blasting everyone, you can get pretty small if you have to, right? I mean, it's better than holding your hands up. That's all I'm saying, right there. So I've decided to go with the courier style or the sling bag, and then of course a piece of body armor. It slid in there, weighs nothing, and it's no reason not to. It just fits in there. I'm not going to be carrying a laptop around. Okay, so here's something you might want to consider. This is a security guard's vest here. You can order these on Amazon for 20 bucks, right? Why this? Well, we've been trained, those of us who all grew up in public education camps or public school, to respect authority, right? It might make a difference. If you were wearing this, a lot of people still respect this and it gives people pause, right? So if you needed to get through a roadblock or you needed to project yourself in a certain way, or even more important, if you found yourself in an active shooter where you are a responsible CCW guy, and you're trying to go in there and help by throwing this on, when the police come in, that's a very dangerous situation for folks that are CCW because they're trying to figure out who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. This could make the difference. If you had this on and they come in, a SWAT team or an active shooter team or whatever, get your hands where they can see them, drop anything you have in your hands, get down prostrate on the ground and make sure they can see you. This might buy you a little bit of time. It just gives you options, right, to have that security. So if you needed to present yourself in a particular way or you needed to convince someone to do something, a lot of people will notice you and recognize you as an authority with that, as foolish as it is, but that's just the reality of it. All right, so let's pull this out and let's look close up here. Again, I can't emphasize the importance, don't overstuff. Just because you can put more stuff in there doesn't mean you should, right? You've got enough to deal with. Keep it trim and thin as possible. All right, so you're gonna wanna have a pretty good first aid kit. I'm not going to geek out on this here, but what you should have in there is three things. You should have a tourniquet, you should have a combat gauze, and you should have an Israeli bandage. And if you want to go beyond that, maybe a cutter, a safe cutter for cutting open clothing and boots, trauma shears, some gloves, whatever. You'll have to decide on there, but at least have those three things right there in your kit and marked in a way that most people could understand. So if they were to open it, they could understand quickly. This obviously is a first aid kit, right? You would think. I'm gonna have a bottle of water and some snacks right there. That's it. That's it, basically it. Eye protection, you're going to want to think about that, whether that be safety glasses or what have you. Now, if you wear glasses and you have to have reading glasses, one thing you might want to consider is getting some safety glasses with the little bifocal in the bottom. I use those in the shop and they're really nice. So typically, I'm going to have my normal glasses on, which are pretty good. Plus, these are wildland firefighting glasses or emergency style glasses or goggles. I can put these over my goggles, right? So protect your eyes, right? And then an N95 mask. A respirator might be an option. I just don't live in the city. I'm not going anywhere near where they're shooting tear gas and all that. That's not my fight. Now, let me preface that. If your livelihood is being attacked, your plumbing van, you live in the city, or your small business, and people are coming for it, that's a whole other kettle of fish. Then we're going to the red bag, aren't we? This is not that kit. So that's why it's not super extensive, super comprehensive. Have a bandana. For reasons that we'll talk about here just in a minute. And protect your goggles. Put them in a little small bag so they don't get scratched up. That's my pet peeve, is scratched up goggles. So we've got the eye protection. We've got a little basic respiratory protection. I would highly recommend the investment in a set of Peltors. I know they're expensive, but man, these things are excellent. It's what it is it's, what do they call it? Passive, no, not passive, active hearing. It has a very simple interface. You push and hold, they turn on. You have 4 levels. It actually amplifies through these little microphones here on the front, and it gives you more enhanced hearing, almost like superhero hearing, right? Why is this important? Well, if there are gunshots going off, if there are explosions, you want to be able to operate in that, and don't want to damage your ears. You can wear these so that you're protected, but you also are not losing that important sensory of your hearing. It's even enhancing it. These Peltors are worth every bit of money, and they're excellent. So, and they fold up pretty small. I would invest in these. You're not going to just use them for this sort of thing. Once you have them, you're going to find you use them all the time. You're going to use them when you're on the lawnmower, right? So have some hearing protection, the best you can get. Baseball ball cap, and then a couple other things in here. I'm going to have a multi-tool. Leatherman, Gerber, whatever you choose, batteries for whatever you might need, and then if you run a weapons light and it doesn't fit in your holster, you want to deal with that right there too. So have your weapons light ready in case you need to run in the dark, because freeing up your hands and maybe even a headlamp would be a good idea is good. You don't want to have to hold on to a flashlight, and that just ties up one hand that you can't do things with, and that's just not very good. And that's basically it for that portion of it. Now let's get to the offensive portion, because I have a product to share with you here that is one of the best things that I've seen in a decade. This amazing little item is the Unity Tactical Clutch. What is a clutch? It is basically a full-on battle belt that you can wear in anything. I talked to the guys at Unity, and they told me that they were selling a ton of these to the Department of Defense, and this has changed my life for the better. It is such an awesome system. What it is, it's Unity Tactical, if you don't know, is a very innovative company that makes the highest quality items. I mean, they spare no expense in anything. And it's kind of a cummerbund system that has they come in 3 sizes, has a Velcro closure system here that just rides around. It's a 4-way stretch, very soft, very durable, high quality, stretchable fabric of some sort that's comfortable. Imagine wearing those of you guys who suffer from lower back pain, those belts that you wear, you go around, that kind of give you, cinch you in, hold you in a little bit. It's very similar to that. I've never found holsters to be comfortable, and I've tried them all, trust me. I mean, I like what Clint Smith said. Holsters or carrying CCW is not supposed to be comfortable, it's supposed to be comforting. Well, this goes beyond that. This is actually more comfortable than not wearing it. I just really like it. So what you have here is a series of cells that are open, cells here with Velcro. This is soft Velcro on the inside that you can customize to just limitless options, right? So you can run magazines, you could run tourniquets, you can run all sorts of different things in here. And what's really cool with the holster system on these is that all you have to do is when you get this, it comes with a whole bunch of the male side of the Velcro, these little patches here. Any holster that you currently own that is less than 4.5 inches across like this will slide into these cells, and you stick the provided Velcro on there, and then you have a holster for anything. So I'm going to be switching also. When I go up to the yellow kit, I'm not going to be carrying a G26 anymore. I'm going to go up to a G19, more of a mid-size or fuller frame size, with bigger capacities. So any of my Kydex holsters will work in here perfectly. I can even have the option, I have one that if I want to run this with a Surefire X300, then I can put that on there and I can run that as well. So it's just personally up to you. There's some options for different little magazine carriers. So there's some, what do you call this stuff? Just that stretchy material. Little panels and things that you can get that will hold separate things in there. So you can configure it any way you want to. If you want to appendix carry, you just put your holster up here. If you want to carry on the right side or the left side, or you want to carry mid-back, there's no limitations to it. You can do anything you want. You want to run your mags wherever you want to run them. It's awesome. Very, very awesome. Also, it's got this non-skid material on the inside, so it hangs. I wear this all the time, all day long under a shirt. It just melts away. You can throw a windbreaker, a jacket on this, and you can have this thing fully equipped with an M4 magazine, a flashlight, a couple secondary magazines. You can even put an IFAK in, an Israeli bandage, lots of different things, right? So hope you get the idea. So this is great, and this is now what I keep on the bedstand. I really like it. You can roll it up really small, and you've got all those things you need, all those things that are kind of hard to keep track of. It sits up right there on the nightstand. You can grab it, doesn't matter what you're wearing. You don't have to put your pants on. You don't have to put a belt on. You wrap it around your waist, whatever you can go out in your birthday suit and be, if you wanted to, and still have the ability to carry all these things. I mean, I don't know anything else like it. It's really, really awesome. One other thing, I'll close with this, it's really important that you want to consider is that if you find yourself out in a situation and there's media around, they are going to try their hardest to get a photo of you or a picture of you, and they're going to post it online, and then there's a whole bunch of evil people that are going to track you down through your social media, and then they're going to go to your job and they're going to try to get you fired. They're going to try to get you in trouble. You do not want to know, as sad as this is, you don't want anyone to know or to be able to get a photo of you and put it on any sort of in front of a newspaper or website, right? So it's imperative that you have the ability to go incognito, right? So I like these, I don't know what they call them. Back in my day, they called them dickies. And they are basically just kind of a tube that you wear around your neck that you can pull up over your face and up over your nose, and no one can really see your face. And it also, in cold weather, they're really nice. They're really delightful. They help kind of keep your neck warm and such. But you want to be incognito. And the bandana is the other thing. You know, you could use the bandana or anything like that. But put the hat down, pull the brim down on the hat. That protects you from any overhead type of cameras. And then with this pulled up on your nose and goggles or safety goggles, no one has any idea what you are. And I know it's sad that that's the state we're in, but we're in clown world, where right is wrong and wrong is right. And if you want to go out there and say, well, I'm going to do what I'm going to do because I have every right to do it, that doesn't matter anymore. Because what matters is the optic. What matters is the judge. There's a whole lot of innocent people in prison, and there's going to be more so. So you need to be smart about it. You need to protect your identity from people that would try to destroy you, because they, trust me, they are out there. All right, let's wrap it up with the final thoughts. I want to put this on really quick to show you as well. Two other things that are in there that I didn't show you. Think about a pair of gloves and some cash. In 20s, maybe a 50 and 100. You might need to bribe someone, right? And you might who knows what, you know. We don't think about bribery today, but that's been the way the world has ran since the beginning of time. So don't underestimate the value of getting someone to do what you need them to do. A lot of people will do a lot for $100. So just saying. All right, so to put the clutch on, it's very simple. Oh, also with the clutch, it's very expandable or adjustable. This center section right here has some military grade shock cord, so you can kind of adjust this quite a bit. These come in 3 sizes, so if you go to their site, you'll see that they have, just find your waist size and order the one that's right for you. But they're pretty flexible. So to put this on, now this is a pretty full kit, right? And it's absolutely stable. It's an excellent, I mean, it really replaces a battle belt. And a battle belt, you know, the other thing about a battle belt is it's hard. You know, it's hard, it's metal, it's Kydex, it's this super ballistic nylon. It doesn't move with your body. So anything you need to do outside of just standing normally, it's pinching you. You try to sit down in a quad, something's gouging you, something's pinching you. You can't sit in a car. I mean, they have a place, don't get me wrong, but they're really uncomfortable. This is that 4-way stretch. That material is so nice that when you sit down, you know, something just moves out of your way. It just stretches a little bit, or it moves here or there, or something. If it's uncomfortable and you've had something on your hip all day and you want to go appendix now, you can simply move your holster, you know, right over here, appendix, or on the back or the left. Versatile options. But the way that it holds, it's so secure. I mean, it's excellent. I mean, you can really do anything you need to do. You can index magazines, you know, you can do all those sort of things. Holster, an excellent system. And it melts away. Even with just a shirt that's somewhat fitted like this one, in a oh, poor microphone here. I'm just trying to give you the concept here. But if you were to throw a fleece on, I should have thought this out better. But even just a loose shirt, right there. So think about what we have underneath here. You know, basically a pretty capable battle loadout with an M4 mag, with 2 pistol mags, with a full-size flashlight, with a G19. I mean, do you know? That's not even trying, right? Can you do that with a battle belt? and it's comfortable. You can wear it all day, you could sit, you can drive, you can run. I'm a fan. This is not a paid endorsement, I'm just a fan because it is that good. And look how everything's secure it is. Nothing's falling out. You know, when you're taking it off at night, it's not dropping things on the ground. It is excellent. All right, let's wrap it up. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? No, I guess not. Just be careful out there. Where is this all going to end and what's going to happen? I don't know. You have to kind of, at this point, you got to look to your own. Make sure that you have the ability in your house to defend yourself. Get with your neighbors. We have my local friends and guys here. We're making effort to get together, talk about things, make sure we have a plan, sharing phone numbers, right? That sort of thing. A couple other things that I've got in there that I didn't show you. You know, if you don't have radios or you think you might need to kind of tie in with some neighborhood guys for a common purpose, you're not all going to be on the same page. Use something as simple as a whistle. Order a half a dozen Fox 40s, have those in the pack there, and come up with a simple, soldiers have been doing this for years. That was the bugle call or the battle call. When the commander of the Legion, he had musicians that would or make a particular note or a sound, and that meant, that this particular thing would happen. We can still use those things today. If you guys got spread around and you're trying to keep an eye on your neighborhood or a block and you can't see your neighbor and you don't know where the threat is coming from, have a plan. Well, hey, I'm going to blow this whistle twice if I need help, or I'm going to have this. Just keep it simple. Have a one blow or two blows for this or that. That sound carries a long ways. Could be something as simple as a glow stick. Have a half a dozen glow sticks in there. If you guys are on the rooftop or something, just tell everyone, hey, if you need something, you crack that thing and you start swinging that around, and when we see that, we'll come to you or you'll come to us. So you need to have a plan. This is serious, guys. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to fearmonger here, but hey, let's get our head out of the sand. What I was hoping would happen was that adults would prevail, that our leaders, governors and mayors would step in and squash this thing, but it appears to be that they're sympathetic to it. It's almost, I think what you have is you've got a bunch of boomers that are in office that think, that relate to this. They think about back on the civil rights days, and when they see these people that are tearing up our countries, they almost think that they identify with that in some crazy way. But just watching them one after another bend the knee, bow the knee down, and accept this, and it's just falling like dominoes. And this movement is becoming more powerful, and more people are going to fold under it, and that leaves good folks vulnerable. So I'll tell you, I'll close with this. I will never bow the knee for another man. Never. There's one person that I'll bow the knee for, and that is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I will not bow the knee for another man. I will not bow the knee for a woman, and I certainly won't bow the knee for any cause. So I'll go public with that, and I hope you do the same. Thanks for watching. Keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families. We'll see you guys on the next video.